Sinners is a stunning genre-defying original by visionary director Ryan Coogler. Equal parts horror, historical drama, and a potent cultural commentary, this film is nothing short of brilliant. Set in 1932 Mississippi during the Jim Crow era, where the South was governed by racial laws, Sinners follows twins and World War I veteran Smoke and Stack Moore, who have recently returned to Mississippi after working in Chicago for famed gangster Al Capone. The twins are both played here by Michael B. Jordan, who return home and invest their stolen money to open a juke joint for the black community. But the musical refuge quickly draws the attention of Remmick, a charismatic yet dangerous Irish vampire played by Jack O'Connell. What unfolds is a chilling supernatural conflict that becomes deeply symbolic. Sinners marks Coogler's return to original storytelling since Fruitvale Station, after finding success directing Creed in 2015, as well as the Marvel films Black Panther in 2018 and Black Panther Wakanda Forever in 2022. He also found success producing the historical drama Judas and the Black Messiah in 2021. The budget of the film was $100 million, and in exchange for distribution rights to the film, Coogler was asking studios for the first dollar gross, final cut privilege, and ownership of the film for 25 years after its release. The film would go on to make $365.9 million at the box office. The production design also features subtle homages like the church's crossed beams forming Wakanda Forever salute, a nod to the late Chadwick Boseman. Coogler cited filmmakers Quentin Tarantino, Jordan Peele, Christopher Nolan, who's also given an on-screen special thanks credit, Spike Lee, and the Metallica song One as sources of inspiration. Some fun trivia. Pop singer Halsey auditioned for the role that eventually went to Hailee Steinfeld, while Machine Gun Kelly was offered the opportunity to audition for the role that went to Peter Drameis, but he declined because he was not comfortable saying the N-word. Some of the film's costumes were designed by Ruth E. Carter for the planned Marvel Cinematic Universe film Blade. But when production on that film stalled, Carter was approached by Coogler to work on this film. Given both films shared time period and similar settings with Prohibition era, Carter was able to reuse her research for this film and was allowed by Marvel Studios to buy costumes she made originally for Blade to be used on Sinners. Now, at the core of this film is its musical heartbeat, which is absolutely electrifying. Ludwig Göransson composed and layered a score with Serena Göransson producing authentic blues tracks recorded live over extended sessions with legends like Buddy Guy and Brittany Howard at Royal Studios in Clarksdale, New Orleans. During pre-production, Coogler sent Göransson several recordings from the 1930s and 40s, particularly those of Robert Johnson and Tommy Johnson. Hailee Steinfeld would also write and record the original song Dangerous for the film. And famed blues guitarist Buddy Guy, who also appears in the film as the older Sammy, was also an inspiration for the soundtrack. He was 88 during filming. Now, one unforgettable sequence is when Sammy plays a poignant blues number and the camera sweeps through the eras of music, jazz, soul, blues, rock, all the way through to hip-hop, visually symbolizing black musical history. It's breathtaking and transcendent. Now, at its core, Sinners uses vampire allegory to explore white appropriation, white vampires benefiting from the richness of black culture by attempting to quell or co-opt it. The juke joint becomes a site of resistance, music a source of defiance. The film is layered with symbolism about the Jim Crow era oppression, cultural inheritance, and spiritual legacy, infusing horror with social commentary in ways few genre films dare. Now let's talk cast. Michael B. Jordan delivers a masterful dual performance here. Firstly as Smoke, who is solemn and guarded, while Stack is much more carefree and flamboyant, and lured into temptation, even eventually becoming a vampire himself. Jordan's performance is layered, nuanced, and fantastic, and for me, he deserves the highest recognition possible. Each time Smoke and Stack appear on screen, even in separate scenes, you know exactly who's who, because of Jordan's very subtle, yet recognizable hints and touches that he adds to his perfect performance. Newcomer Miles Canton shines here as Sammy, the gifted guitarist whose music calls both spirits and spectres. He has a wonderful singing voice and has a maturity way beyond his years, and rightfully so. His breakout performance has been hailed among the best of the year. And Hailee Steinfeld turns out for me her best ever performance, here as the vulnerable and conflicted Mary, but also later as the femme fatale, who eventually uses her feminine wiles to convert Stack to the dark side. And Jack O'Connell is absolutely chilling here as vampiric Remmick. He is so menacing yet alluring and charming and likable in his very strange way. And Delroy Lindo, who I haven't seen in years, brings such gravitas to Delta Slim, a musical legend anchoring the ensemble. Now, the reason this film works so powerfully isn't just because it's a vampire movie. It's a rich social commentary wrapped in mesmerizing horror. The music, the imagery, the performances, they all hit with poetic force. Michael B. Jordan's dual role is layered and nuanced. and is truly a star-making turn from this ever-evolving actor. What Coogler has created here, albeit heavily influenced by Robert Rodriguez's From Dusk Till Dawn, is a beautifully original concept that in a sea of sequels and remakes, Sinners stands tall as something wholly original. It's cinematic poetry, horror, music and history melding for a unique and unforgettable experience. If I have one minor quibble, it maybe was the length. The film is a bit overlong and the ending seems to experiment with multiple ways to conclude. But that's a tiny nitpick in an otherwise near perfect experience. Sinners gets a 9.5 out of 10. If you've seen Sinners, drop your thoughts below. Did you feel the musical moment hit you in the soul? If you haven't watched it yet, do yourself a favor and find a way to watch it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more deep dives into films that redefine storytelling.